Well, hello there. Welcome to Talking Leeds. And there's plenty to talk about over the last couple of days. Welcome to my birthday friend, Mr. Bearded Peacock himself, George Brook. Happy birthday, first of all. Please give him a happy birthday in the comments if you're watching live, or drop in the comments and say happy birthday. How are you, sir?
Well, thank you, Anne. First and foremost, good evening to Colin and good evening to Danny. Danny's your brother, is he?
He is,
Aaron? I must say,
yes.
good evening to Danny. I thought you were. My birthday, although that is very kind of you, Aaron, was not today. It's not today. It was yesterday. But it's still the same. In many ways, the birthday can go on for a whole week if you like. So, yeah, birthday is... That's the way it happens on the same day every year. So there you go. 30 something I was.
Very good, very good. Well, do you know what, George? I think we should get straight into this because, let's be honest, we could talk
31.
About... You were 31.
Yeah.
31 years of age and you don't look it. Right, let's get straight into it, George, because massive news has come out of the club over the last 24 hours. Jorginho Rutter has moved to Brighton, a £40 million deal. That's confirmed. He's gone. He's said his goodbyes. Daniel Farke confirmed it earlier on. I watched his press conference. Rutter going, George. I know we'll touch on the Portsmouth game. We'll touch on the Middlesbrough game. We have got the match reaction from Alfie and Jerry, which is going to come out straight after this. They've recorded that for us, which is good. George, first of all, your initial thoughts on Jorginho Rutter leaving Leeds, because he's gone. His Leeds no more.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all but it's only missing the confirmation from
he's
Brighton. But Farke, as like you said, he's rubber stamped it this afternoon. He said it was emotional, didn't he? It was a good said his goodbyes. Yeah, look, people. I will say this, Aaron. People are going on like it's a funeral or something like this. He's gone. That's it. He's gone. It's a good amount of money the club has got for it. We didn't get promoted, so hey, that's what you get. You get your best players leaving. You get them going for these. It's an incredible amount of money, Aaron, for Jorginho Rutter. Is he worth it? No. So we got that money, and we can say goodbye to him. People, like I said, people are going on like somebody's died, at the football club today, and I don't get it really. I think Georgie was good on his day, but he was also very, very frustrating to watch at times. Obviously, very popular amongst the squad, and I think that's the danger now. It's a real danger of the squad morale getting battered. And you look at that team last night, Aaron. It was atrocious, but I think it might have been tempered possibly by the news that Georgie was going. Maybe.
Yeah, I think the thing is though, George, with Rutter and with Somerville as well, and what we found under Farke is that Farke relied heavily on individual brilliance, and those two players, were heavily, they were very talented players. What gets me is that what we've been fed right at the back end of the playoff final defeat by Parag Marat, we were fed that yes, we're going to fight, we're going to do this, we're not financially do that, we're not going to be dictated to in terms of player outgoings and sales, all that BS pretty much, which it is. Let's be honest. We were fed this and think, yeah, do you know what? 49ers, yeah, they're looking good here. But yes, there was a relegation clause. Yes, it is against the law. If we don't, we have to stick to it. What's disappointing for me is like what Gavin said, is that it's not that he's leaving. It's that the club hasn't invested. We've had 40 million quid from Archie Gray, 25 million quid or whatever it is for Somerville, 10 million euros for Kamara, and now 40 million quid. Leeds United, as things stand, are the biggest sellers in Europe. They've made the most money out of all the Premier League teams, La Liga, Serie A, all the big boys. We've made them. It's crazy saying this, that we're in the Championship. We've made the most amount of money. And look at what's come in. Nothing. Bogle, I'm not too confident with him, if I'm being honest. Alex Cairns, is he going to set the championship alight? He probably won't even get a game. You know, what is going on, George? We need some therapy here more than anything.
Look, I mean, good evening, first and foremost, to Gavin, and good evening to Lucas as well. It's great to see people interacting. But, yeah, look, I agree. Look, there's been a lot of flack towards today. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I think, I must admit, Arron, to be fair, I woke up in the middle of the night, bit of sickness. It wasn't through drinking. It was through
Leeds United.
Yes. It just. I looked at the phone in the middle of the night and said, "Oh, Rutter's going to Brighton," and I ran immediately to the toilet to throw up.
It's crazy.
I couldn't believe. No, it wasn't because of that, but I did see it in the middle of the night. And I thought, what on earth is happening here? Because it isn't the fact we do expect it. We didn't get up. We didn't get promoted. We do expect our prize players to go, and even however late it is in the window. But it is disappointing. They haven't invested in the team yet. They really haven't. And like you said, we've recouped the most in Europe, £140 million. All right,
George, take FFP out here for a second, because what we were told with Archie Gray going 40 million quid, this is fine. This will cover the loss for not getting promoted, and yes, obviously not getting promoted hurts, and we have to pay the price. But they've got £100 million. Because what the bloody hell? Where is that money? Where is it going? Is it going to Will Ferrell and bloody Elf the musical? What's going on?
Exactly. Who knows? I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, it's not cut and dry. We made 140 million so far. It doesn't all go back into the team. We know this, but a certain amount should. And I think given the Rutter sale now, I think Leeds will have a bit of money now to play with, because Fark was saying, "Oh, we don't have much to play with, this, that, and the other," but they definitely do. And Lucas says it's a disaster because we'll never be able to replace the quality of Rutter. Yeah, I mean, I think we can replace the quality of Rutter. Can we do it within a 2-week time scale? I'm not really sure. And they've given themselves not a long amount of time, Arron, to go and rectify this. And how on earth do you get back 51 goal involvements in the season? That's what Cree and Rutter gave us. How are we supposed to get that out of players coming in? We're not really going to get that, are we? Unless we're spending big money on these players, because these players, Somerville and Rutter, were way better than the Championship. We knew it, and so did they, and that's why they had so much fun last season. But they have to move on. You can't blame Jorginho at all for wanting to go. It's a bit unceremonious, just sort of going, I'm playing in the game last night, I'm going now. But that's how football works, isn't it? It moves quickly, so you can't
I completely agree. But it's what's disappointing is, like what I said right at the start, is that we said, we only need to let one player go. We have the superstars which we had. Archie Gray, 40 million quid. Yeah, we can deal with this. Jonathan coming in on loan. You think Bob coming in at Rabbit. You think, okay, we can see what's happening here. But it's like what you said, 50 odd goals.
Yeah.
You can't buy that in the Championship. And let's be honest, when you look at what we've still got, is Aronson going to set the Championship alight? He missed a sitter at the weekend. That's about it. He got the equaliser. I think he's all forgiven.
I think Arron will do all right. I think Aronson will do all right, Arron, personally.
But we're still. But when you look at the transfer market and you look at the size of our squad, we've got the smallest squad size in the division.
Yeah, well, it's not far off.
And it always goes back, and you always go back, George. You always go back and say, strength in depth is key.
Yeah.
We haven't got any depth. We haven't got any strength.
No, I mean, look at the game last night. I mean, that was pretty much second string. We were playing up against a team who are in the same division. We're better then, all told, 11 against 11 first teams. But we come unstuck and lose 3-0. So the second string, as that was, isn't good enough, or they just didn't fancy it on the night. It can all come into these things. You don't know what was happening. Maybe the Rutter news had been broken to the team beforehand, and it just affected morale. But Gavin's talking about a left back here. Surely we should have had left back, a centre midfield by now. No excuses. Sheffield United, they have made some decent signings, and O'Hare is one of them. But that Farker keeps banging on about it in these press conferences, doesn't he, about the right characters for Leeds and things like this. Well, what is that? You know what I mean? The fan base are getting a little bit impatient now. There's 2 weeks left of the window.
We are, and it just smells of last season, George. It's like history repeating itself. Yes, we had the mass exodus of players leaving on loan, but now you've got the mass exodus of players who have been sold. Yes, there was a transfer, the clause in the contract, but this is what I want to touch on what Colin said there. Let's hope we plan for this and hope we can move on. I don't think Leeds planned for this to happen, if I'm being honest, because I don't think they thought that Brighton would come back and offer the transfer kind of, the clause, the buyout clause would be hit.
Yeah, I don't think they will have planned for it, because they're silly. They should have done. You've always got to know.
When you look at what he's done a lot of stuff with Flamingo Land, did Rutter, didn't he? He did a lot of publicity stuff for them. He did a lot of publicity stuff for the club. With all, his pictures posted everywhere on social media. Yeah. He was the main man. I don't think Leeds or Parag or Angus Kinnear actually planned for this to happen, if I'm being honest. I think we've been well and truly screwed over by Brighton and Hove Albion here, if I'm being honest.
Brighton,
and we should have screwed them over when they screwed us over with bloody Ben White.
I know, but that's just football, isn't it? It could, if in Brighton, it's somebody else. The team he goes to is immaterial. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's just they're paying the money. He goes there. I mean, I agree. I think Rutter was probably like the poster boy for the season. I don't think Cree was. I think they probably did plan for Cree leaving, because, like I said, when he did leave, I don't think he was quite the man in all these social media bits. He wasn't as involved as, say, Rutter was. Rutter was, like you said, he was right in the thick of it all in the pre-season videos, that Flamingo Land little bit, him on the roller coaster, stuff like this. You thought, yeah, probably. And I thought myself, I didn't think he was actually going to go, to be fair. I thought, but you've also got to say, Arron, when somebody comes in for you, ups your wage and all that.
There was apparently as well today, wasn't it? The Leeds were trying their hardest to match the offer which Brighton were making. So they did, well, from what we've been told on X and social media and things like that Leeds did try to so-called match the offer which Brighton were offering and try and time down to a new deal.
They did, but that again, Arron, just smacks of desperation for me, and them sort of saying, "Hey, we don't have a plan B here. We need him to stay. We have, because if it was me, and people like to think they run it smoothly, I'm sure it's harder than it. I'm sure it's harder than it kind of looks or whatever. But or than the fans think it is. But you'd have thought, hang on, he might go here. We didn't get promoted. There's people sniffing around. He might go. We've got to get somebody in now, and don't let him go until you've got that man nearly tied up to the contract. That would be how I would run it. No, you're not going because we haven't got him sorted yet. So, we've got the green light on him. Right, you can go now then.
But they can't, because they're legally bound by a player's contract. If it has a clause in there which says if X amount of money is tabled for him, you are allowed to talk to that club. That is the point of it.
Yeah, which is fine. Clause. Which is fine, Arron.
Which counteracts what you're saying there, because you can say, well, we need to hang fire. If they've if Brighton have come in and said, look, 40 million quid, here you go, bang, done. It's just, why can't, if this was going to happen, we've already started the season. We've had a disastrous start to the season. We've conceded 6 goals in 2 games.
At home.
and you just think to yourself, my God. And I have to say, if we think about the game on Saturday, Portsmouth were not that great. They made us look poor. And it's, we look back at last season, we think, oh, yeah, we were slow starters. It was chaos. It's exactly the same for me. Portsmouth, I think their XG was way below, but they had 4 shots on target, scored 3. Compared to us, and yes, we were a little bit unlucky. You can say that we're lucky, but we've had it's a disaster. And I think, when you look at West Bromwich Albion at the weekend, that's going to be a tough game as well for us, George. I just think, is this pressure completely new for Daniel Farke here? Because I don't think he's had this ever before in his career.
Well, he'd have probably had it last season, Aaron, to be fair.
But I think but George, last year we knew, because I think if we look back to last year, Aronson, Warburg, Harrison, Laurenti, all the players who wanted to go out on loan had effectively gone before Daniel Farke came in the door.
Yeah, but he had the situation where Sinisterra, Willie Nonto didn't want to play. It must have been pressure on there. This time, because of the failure last year, you're probably right. There is more pressure on Leeds to up the game. Honestly, I if we lose on Saturday, which is a possibility, unfortunately, because like you said, West Brom is a good Championship side. It's going to be difficult, we know, because we lost there last season. It's a difficult ground to play at. Seems a little bit of a stinky one, doesn't it? So like a one that Leeds just can't seem to get anything from. And it does stink of a loss, I think. But I don't think he's far off the sack if we lose. Honestly, I don't at all.
Well, we haven't. Well, if you look at the 11 games which we've had, if you go back to the start at the end of last season, 4 wins in 11 for Farke.
Yeah, and I think it's like I said, if we lose on Saturday, which hopefully, obviously, we don't. We need a win as early as we can get. But if we lose, I think he might be gone. And I don't think that's harsh, because
that's a strong statement.
I don't think it's harsh. I don't think it's harsh at all. I think I've been wanting him to go on the quiet. I haven't been shouting it from the rooftops, but I've wanted him out for some time. I thought the time was up when we lost that final, personally. And for me, I don't care if it's only 2 games in. I'd get shut of him personally if we lose.
Okay, and who'd you bring in?
That's not my job, Aaron. That's not my job.
Who'd you bring in? You could start dreaming that, okay, let's say we sack Daniel Farke. We think, okay, who can Leeds come in? You can dream all day long. You think, oh, Graham Potter will come in and take over. Probably not. He wouldn't dare. I think Leeds went in for him back last summer. He didn't touch us. I think if we did replace Daniel Farke, again, it's such a difficult one. I don't know who is out there at the moment. Southgate wouldn't touch us. Potter's gone to America.
Has he? Has he gone?
Yeah, he's the American national.
Oh, is he? Has he got that now? Gosh.
So those are your top, your top kind of coaches. Championship wise, you're starting to scrape around the barrels. Neil Warnock won't come back; he's retired.
Yeah, but you don't want this. You want youthful managers. I don't think they'd go for dinosaur prehistoric managers. They'd go for new managers, new ideas. I don't think they'd go down the route of try and test it. I think they'd switch it up a bit. I do think, honestly, I think it, and I would welcome it. I would applaud it if he was sacked personally. But I mean, Gavin says, does the Rutter money have to be paid in full? I have no idea. I assume it possibly
probably
might.
not. Yeah, probably not, Gavin. What will happen is they'll probably Rutter will probably sign a 5-year deal, and it'll be 5 installments for Rutter, probably. God knows.
Well, I mean, who knows? I mean, he will probably sign a long contract. Well, he's only 22, so yeah. I mean, again, Gavin says Potter, like we tried him last summer. He didn't want to come down to the Championship, but
there is one who I think would might take it, and I think would Do you know what? The more I think about it, David Moyes, I think, would be a good shout if you got rid of Farke. But I don't think Leeds will get rid of Farke, if I'm being honest.
I mean, no. I mean, they do seem to have put a lot behind him, and they do seem to back him. Obviously, Parag Marath was it. It was an ample opportunity to get rid of him, wasn't it? At the end of last season when we didn't get up. Also, I have seen, and I know it hasn't escaped a lot of people's attentions because I've seen it on Twitter as well. That the statement he put out at the end of after we lost that final has now been deleted from the club website. So people are going bonkers over that as well. So people really, I don't know, people go mad, don't they? It's like, come on now,
But George, you've got to understand why, and I'm in that camp because I think, listen, Leeds fans, we're a fickle bunch. Listen, we're as fickle as the cup.
As most football fans are.
As most football, yeah, completely good. But I think Leeds fans are a different breed, George. Do you know what I mean? We are, and admit it, we are. And I think honesty goes a long way in football. And if you've got, we thought, we've got rid of the shit with Rutter and Radrazani and Canary is obviously still there, but we think, do you know what? We can move on from this. The 49ers seem decent. They're saying the right things, but actually, when it comes to walking the plank, they can't do it. They absolutely struggle to be honest with us, and I don't think Parag is being honest with us. If I'm being honest.
I don't think he is either, and I think that's probably why the statement got.
And you will look at what's gone off the field. Obviously the three players have gone for a large amount of money, biggest revenue in Europe. Forget Real Madrid, forget Man City, forget all that. It's Leeds United are top of the tree for player sales. And then you look at what's come in, and I'm not being funny, but 140. There was not a black hole in 140 million quid's worth of debt or whatever, which needed to be cleared for PSR. We don't have that. What I think is really, really bugging me is the lack of investment in the playing squad, because Parag quite openly said we will be competitive from day one. Day one has started and we're not competitive. We've conceded 6 goals at home in the last 2 games. Yes, it was the League Cup. I understand that, but you want momentum. You want, you've got to build, and it's not the best start to the season. 1 point from one. Portsmouth promoted, yes, you could say they're on a back, they're buzzing from winning League One last year. But I look at that, Tim. Leeds should have absolutely destroyed them. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, look, Saturday we started like a house on fire, didn't we? The first 10 minutes could have been
first
3
20
or 4
minutes, George. I think, whoa, this is we're gonna. I said to people who sit next to me, George, and I'm sorry for interrupting because I need to say this. I thought HMS piss the league if we do this, if we play like this.
Well, yeah,
that's
what we were doing. We were nailing them, and they couldn't live with it. We got the penalty. It was well played by Dan James to get the penalty, and I was surprised to see Strout step up, but he did it. He put it in well, and then they just stepped off. For me, they thought, well, they thought the same as the fans. We're gonna win this easy. This game, we don't need to. And then look at the defending. It happened again last night at one certain stage in the first half where they all kind of just stepped off the man that the ball was obviously clearly going to go to, left him free in the middle. And I mean, he shouldn't be scoring really. Mele should, but like you said earlier, Arron, Bogle for me, awful, absolutely horrible performance on Saturday, and he was just as culpable for that goal as Melier for me. He just completely left his
penalty as well, wasn't it?
The penalty was just mindless. I mean, and then Ampadu and himself were there remonstrating with the ref. It was a penalty all day long. He had his arms around his neck. And it was the 92nd minute of the damn game. I mean, and everybody thought we were going to lose the damn thing. And then luckily, Aronson, who everybody seems to have forgotten about, scored the equalising goal, obviously because he missed that sitter at the end.
Yeah.
But Gavin as well. Yeah, Rodon looks a completely different player. It looks like he's just not got his head in it at all. I don't know what the hell he's doing. That one last night was just as bad, but you look at Saturday even more so because of the more importance of the league games. He had a horrible game as well. It was really, really poor. I mean, I don't count yesterday was annoying. It was bad, but we're not going to win the league, and I think it's just we get out of it. Just don't bother with it. We didn't need to lose 3-0 though.
That's the thing, and that's what hurts the most. You look at the attendance day, 35,000. George, Arron George yesterday. Yes, Middlesbrough had a little bit more. Let's be honest, in terms of their away allocation because of the 15% rule with cup competitions. It was just the way we lost 0-0 at half time. And you think, God, this is depressing. And then Middlesbrough just came out and absolutely destroyed it. They absolutely destroyed us. Max Warber. And again, I think I recall, George, you said, Max Warber's going to be brilliant for us this year. He's going to be superb. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. He's equally as just, what the hell has happened to him? We don't need him. It's just... Well, and then 5 changes, and you just think, God, it's not FIFA, pal.
No, but I think to be fair, and it's one game in it, you can't. If he plays poorly over a stint of 5, 6, 7, 8 games, then you got to say, hey. But look, it was one game there. Daniel Farke's substitutions have always annoyed and confused me, and he was just like, you just throw them all on. It always is. If the game's not going our way, you can bet 60 to 70th minute, he'll throw on 2 or 3, 4 attacking options, just swap them like for like, and just see what happens. Like you say, it's FIFA tactics or Football Manager or something like that. When you can't be asked with a game and you were waiting for your tea or something, and just I'll just throw them on just to see if we're going to win the game, and then you don't change anything, and it just works out as a loss or a draw. I mean, Colin was on his way out when they scored the equaliser. I mean,
I was as well.
But then that late, chance, if he scores that, he's a hero, isn't he? And we're not talking like this, because if we lost that game yesterday, fair enough. If we'd have won the game on Saturday, we'd have been probably fine with it. But I think it comes off the back of that, and then the Rutter news right off the back of that 3-0 home defeat. It's a right kick in the nuts, and
I think the kick in the nuts, George, you're absolutely right. The reason why it's a kick in the nuts is because right back at the end of I think it was the last, the day after the playoff final, we had the statement from Parag. We had this, we will be ready, we will be this, we will be that. And nothing at all has materialised to show that Leeds United are ready to compete in the Championship, let alone the league. Forget the League Cup. We're not bothered about that. Leeds were never, ever going to win the League Cup, ever. But the Championship, and when I've watched Luton Burnley. Burnley look a good team, George. They look a very good squad, good team. Connor Roberts, I think, played fantastic for them. Sheffield United as well. I think they look strong. Sheffield Wednesday, I think they're going to be up there this season. There's a whole, and you just think as a Leeds fan, this is just typical Leeds. We'll be lucky if we finish mid-table, in my opinion.
But this is, again, it's typical Leeds fans pressing the button and panicking over 2 games.
Are you not panicking? Are you not panicking, George?
I'm not really panicking too much, to be honest with you, Aaron. And I think it's
can you tell me how you're not panicking?
Because I think if we lose on Saturday, it'd be rubbish, and I hate when Leeds lose, but I think the manager might go, and I think that would relieve a little bit.
So you are panicking then if you think Daniel Farke's going to go?
I'm not panicking at all. I'll be quite happy, like I said, if he went. I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking over the sales, because I kind of knew they were going to happen. And let's panic on, I don't know, the 31st or the 1st of 31st of August or the 1st of September when we haven't got people in. Because if we do get people in, And then people are going to forget about this if we start winning games of football as well. People are going to forget about, oh, we lost Cree, we lost Rutter, we lost Gray, whatever. Gray is not a big loss for me anyway. It was a big load of money. But that's the problem. You know, it can change. Well, it can change so quick. We could get 2 or 3. I mean, Gavin says we need 6. We could get 3 fantastic players, and people are going, "Wow, look at this! We've signed him, and we're signing him," and suddenly, like you said, fans are fickle. Suddenly, they'll forget about Chris Somerville. They'll forget about Rutter. They'll go down Tellon Road, and they'll just say, "Hey, what has this guy got?" And he scores 2 or 3 goals, and they're all celebrating, and then it's back to fun. It's back to funland, isn't it? So. I just
Funland, I love it.
I'm just not. You know what I mean? It's early season. Yesterday was rubbish, and yesterday I really hoped they could win, but you know it didn't materialise. The Saturday game was poor, but at the end of the day, the positive was we didn't lose the game because we could have easily lost it right at the very end with that penalty. So. You know, there were positives in that, and
I just think you're right in what you're saying, George. But for me, the biggest concern is we've lost 2 of our biggest players, last season in Somerville and Rutter, and 50 odd goals, whatever, 50 odd goals. You know, the assists and all that crap. You can look at all the stats all day long. We all
51 goals, 51
goals.
Yeah, I think it was something like
that alone. If you want to get promoted, you need to replace like for like. I don't see Leeds United attracting any player, 2, 3, 4 players who can return that ratio of goals or goal chances or whatever, goals created. That for me is the biggest worry, because if you let's say Samis Maddox for Blackburn, he's going to Ipswich. We all know that's happening. Leeds think, Leeds fans are jumping on the bandwagon. Oh yeah, we can could just go give them 20, go give them what they want. But Leeds have said, Fark said today, no, we're not paying over the odds for these players, but they're going to have to now, aren't they? They're going to have to. It's like Rowe from Norwich. He's going to go Marseille. We know that. He's never in a million years going to come to Leeds. So who the hell can we attract? If it was going to happen, George, it would have happened by now.
No, I don't agree. I think they're playing hardball, Leeds, innit? And they don't want to pay. Oh, like you said, over the odds for them. Like you said, they will have to now, Aaron. So
they have no choice, because exactly. What annoys me is even more is that all the money has been publicly, announced. It's £40 million. If you're Norwich City and you're coming in for a row, you just think Delia Smith will be sat there eating a mince pie or whatever she does, cooking something, and she's going to be absolutely saying, "Okay, 15 million, add another 5 to that Leeds Prague, please, if you want him." And it's like what Gavin said. Every club will hold Leeds to ransom as they have seen the money coming in. Yeah, and rightly so.
Yeah, well, that like you said, they're just going to have to, like Colin says as well, that the teams are going to know we're desperate, but we are desperate to get something over the line. So we've got 2 weeks to replace, like you said, 20 odd goals, 27 goals, and the rest are assists. It's the. I think they can. I personally think they can get players to match them numbers or thereabouts in the Championship. I do, but we are going to have to pay over the odds. Johnny Rowe, I don't believe is set straight for Marseille. I think Leeds will have to, like you said, up their bid now, and we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Gavin's mentioned Benson. Benson has been mentioned as well from Burnley because he doesn't seem to be involved there for some reason. He's a good player. But, they might
Jack
just put...
Clark as well. It's the same for Sunderland. They will want a top 6 finish this year. They ain't going to let him go for peanuts.
No, I mean, Clark, you're probably paying upwards of £20 million for him, I bet. But, you just wonder why they can't just go out and do something like that. Because that would appease the fans. It would, like I said, it would get them excited again for You know, because I liken it to that Birmingham game last year. And it was about a similar time, wasn't it, last season? We went and
Yeah.
lost 1-0. And you looked at that team, you thought, bloody hell, that is a horrible team. Who the hell is going to score goals in this one? And it feels a little bit like that in a sense now. And you just want a bit of excitement in the team. Rutter gives that alone, I think.
Yeah, he did.
When
He
you,
did on Saturday because the minute, you know, he's got the tricks, the flicks. He is the X Factor kind of player. Is George
in that league, he definitely is, because he knows he's better than 90% or 99% of those players in that division, probably. So, but in the Premier League, it's different, isn't it? But we don't have to worry about that because he's not playing for us anymore. But you know, I think they'll find a player or multiple players that can fill the roles in some way, shape, or form. They've got, I don't know, I think it does against Stinker Nonto going right at the very end of the window to somebody as well. So they have to, you know, plan for that as well now. I bet you, like I've seen many people say today, I bet you he has some kind of release clause in his contract as well. That somebody will eventually, probably Everton, because they are desperate for Willie, aren't they, Aaron? They're desperate for him.
They're desperate for a bit of Willie or Everton. They are. And do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me, George, when we do our deadline day special, that we're sat here thinking, yeah, Willie's still here. And then Willie goes. He just goes. It's inevitable. Let's be honest.
But the thing is, we might not be that asked if at that point we've got a couple of players in that can fill those roles. I think we need two. We need like for like. We need at least two. I mean, Colin says I think we needed four, but sorry, Gavin says we needed four, but I think we need at least two, maybe three players that can do what Somerville and Rutter did last season, and then we'll be okay. But it's just finding them players. We might pluck one from somewhere that you don't even know, Aaron. And, and there you go. They come out and be excellent. You know, it could be another like Powell Sibisky or something like that.
God.
You know, and all this kind of stuff. So you know,
John Kevin Augustine.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, if he was not injury prone, then maybe in another day he could have done something. But he's still no. I mean, he's just his career's just gone off the rails, really, really. But
yeah, I don't know. It's just concerning times, and it's doom, gloom, and fire sales, as the title says. It just seems to be doom and gloom at the moment, and we should have gone into this season with optimism, and you know, we're going to steamroll the league, and we're going to absolutely smash every opponent off the park. And you know, now we just seem to be in a far worse position, in my opinion, compared to last. I think we're in a worse position than last year.
Possibly,
because you know, we don't have. We've just got nobody coming in. That's the issue.
I think this was all. Like I said, it was always going to happen this time when we didn't get when the final whistle went at Wembley on that day, and we didn't get promoted. That this was always going to happen. I think the later and later it goes in the window, you just think, oh, maybe they might stay, but there's still a couple of weeks left. Georgie's gone with what I think it ends on the 31st of August, so he's gone with 16 days of the window to go, and we won't get anybody in now till after the weekend. So it'll be Monday. What's that? Is it the 19th Monday? So what? 11 days is it to go there? Then I don't know. Whatever. You know. So it's looking a bit like it's desperate times, and we have zero people come in that can do those jobs. At the moment.
I just want to talk about Bogle because. But for me, you know, we think, yeah, okay, we're bringing in the Sheffield United right back. We think, yeah, we're paying 5-6 million quid for him. He's going to, you know, really, it's a big improvement from Ayling. We think, oh, actually, it wasn't a natural right back. And we think, yeah, do you know what? He could do okay. And from what I've seen from him, I wasn't impressed, if I'm being honest, on Saturday. And I think that's why a lot of Leeds fans are concerned, because you look at what's come in. They haven't set the league alight. Rothwell, I think, was okay yesterday. Nothing special, just did a job yesterday against Borough. But this is the issue that I think Leeds fans have got, is that they're just concerned about the lack of improvements in the playing squad, and I think we are 10 times weaker compared to the end of last season.
Yeah, I think that is.
And we can't be relying on what Gavin said there. We can't be relying on an unproven Matteo Joseph to score 20 goals.
Yeah, I mean, from the starting 11 last night, Matteo Joseph is definitely the Fark's pinning him as the number 9, isn't he? As the starter.
We can't be relying on him.
No, of course you can't.
He's too young.
And for me, we needed another striker in as well. For me, we need. I mean, you were saying we needed 10, I think, today, but I think we need. Yeah. For me, realistically, we could do with 5 or 6. And realistically, I think we'll probably get 3, maybe 4. But like you said, I agree, Aaron. It is not as strong as we were this time last year. And we look at that Birmingham game. It was horrible, but then suddenly it just seemed to pick up. We signed a few players, and the sort of the creativity in the team just came back, naturally. But it doesn't look like it's going to do that this time. With only a couple of weeks of the window to go, the recruitment's been shit. Really, sorry to swear, but it just hasn't been good enough. And Bogle, like we can't just play off one game. What I said about Woba, but Bogle had an awful game on Saturday. Really, really did. He had a stinker right from the start, and it was his fault for that equalising goal. Completely lost his man. The penalty was horrific, and just the whole in between that, it just looked out of sorts all the way through the match. And it didn't make for a good time for him. I'm sure he noticed it himself. Obviously, he will have done. Hopefully, he comes. Obviously, he'll play on Saturday. Hopefully, he can rectify it from there.
Interesting as well what Gavin says there. Great to see your comments, Gavin. Keep them coming in. Who's going to create now? We always went through Rutter, didn't we? Let's be honest. Who's going to be the creative player, George, on Saturday? Because let's be honest, Brendan Aronson. Is he in that 10 role? Is he going to set the championship alight?
I think
it seems to me that he's probably the only one as things stand.
Yeah, I think at the moment, maybe it has to go, or maybe Dan James possibly out from the wing, cutting the ball, cutting the ball in from that right side, maybe. But yeah, I'm not sure, and it's funny, isn't it? Because like you said, Georgie gave so much in the season last year. I'm not sure for certain how many numbers he got in turn. I think it was 15 assists and 7 goals or something like that.
But that's a key thing as well within when you look at, when you break down Fark's tactical analysis, everything went through Somerville and Rutter.
Well, it did.
That was the tactic. Just give it to Georgie, give it to Cree, and hope for the best.
Exactly, and that's what you're saying at the top. His tactic is basically revolving around individual quality, which it is really, and who's going to do that now? And I think Nonto, if he stays past the deadline, will have a big part to play in the team. Whether that is good enough for him to stay, I don't know. But look, again, if we're talking like this on past September, then we're in trouble, aren't we? But if we've, like I said, look at it the other way, Aaron. We're talking about if we lose, it's all D and G. Oh no, never mind D and D. It's all D and G, doom and gloom. And then what about if we win Saturday and then suddenly everybody goes up and then I don't know.
George. No, I think if we win on Saturday, I think it'd still be there.
No, but but what happens there? And the Georgia news came out of nowhere last night. It was like 11, 12 at night. What if suddenly now, bang, Leeds are in for so and so, this, that, and the other, and then suddenly, we win Saturday and we get a result. We everybody feels, and then Monday the man comes in or whatever, who we're all lauding over. Oh, it's great! Look at who we got now, and then you know what I mean. So it can change so quickly off just a win and a man coming in who kicks the ball into the goal, and then everybody gets excited again. And also, Aaron, I'm pretty sure we're wearing that lovely yellow kit on Saturday, so it might be a good omen. Maybe the sort of it'll just release the kind of inner Eddie Gray or inner Peter Lorimer or whatever, and they'll play like those guys did on Saturday. And
well, that would be nice, but I just think it's the negativity from the fans. I think with Rutter going though, the morale in the dressing room will have really hit them.
It will have done.
He's a massive character.
Yeah, he is for the team. For like, obviously, we only see a snippet of it on a daily basis. I'm pretty sure he's a laugh and a joke like all the time. He'll be lifting people up, and people will be they'll feel it even if they weren't close with him. They'll feel his presence gone from the dressing room for sure. And that's always that will affect people because they're only human people. They will affect that will definitely affect them. And on the pitch as well because he was so important. So it's a massive loss. But that's football, you know what I mean? That's footy. That's the way it goes. You've got to pick yourselves up and do your job on Saturday. And I'm pretty sure that if we win, the mood will naturally be lifted. Yeah. If we lose, the torches are out. The torches are out for Farke anyway, but they definitely are if we lose. Like I said, I don't think it's out the realms of possibility that he gets sacked if we lose on Saturday. So, yeah. Because let's be honest, Aaron Paramarath would have been. I think he would have been in two minds whether to sack him at the end of the season. I think, and if we start him badly, even though it's only 2 games in, then suddenly he it's like, oh heck, I made a wrong decision there by keeping him on. I'm going to sack him because I was nearly there anyway. So I'm just going to sack him now because we started badly. It might be that situation. I mean, I look at a lot of Brazilian football. You know this, I'm with my brother. We're on a podcast every week around one talking Brazil ball. We talk about Brazilian football every week, and they're very, very impatient with the managers. After 3-4 games, if they haven't won, sometimes they're off. So, and then they'll do it again for another one. It's like it makes Celino look really, really patient. So yeah, it's one of them, and I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility that it goes.
Yeah, and then to rub salt into the wounds even more, not Leeds related, Calvin Phillips has joined Ipswich Town on loan as well. That's a bit of a stinker because we could have really done with him.
Well, I mean, I don't think he was never going to come back to Leeds. I think he obviously is a Premier League player.
If we'd have gone up,
yeah, of course. Maybe if we'd have gone up, he would have come back on loan, and we can't afford his wages probably because he's on astronomical amounts of money. But and the sad thing is for me with Calvin Phillips is that he will probably keep going on loan till he retires. Because he can't, he's done at City. They don't want to know. No. So, it's sad. It's sad. You know what I mean? To see how.
I think you could probably do now. I think you could probably make like a dream team with former Leeds players. Still Leeds players. I might do that for the laugh. I'm just thinking now. So we've got Adams, Sinistera. Harrison, we've got Rutter now. We've got Somerville.
Yeah, I mean,
who else have we lost?
See, I used to do this regularly.
Yeah,
I mean, there's Phillips, there's Leif Davis as well at Ipswich.
Yes, yes, of course.
I used to do this regularly, Aaron, because obviously we were in the Premier League. So I would set up a fantasy football team of ex-Leeds players who were playing in the Premier League. So
James Milner, I think he's still hanging around.
Yeah, Milner's still at Brighton, isn't he? So you could throw him in there. There's quite a few, but I mean, it's something fun to have a look at, isn't it? And you've got two straight off the bat there, newly newly come to the Premier League with other teams. Obviously, like you said, Somerville and Rutter. So Rutter can go in the 10, Somerville can go out wide. But
there you go.
But I mean, Colin asked me, is there any Brazilians that we could go for? No, there is. Now, I looked at some about a month or so ago, Colin, because we're part of the Red Bull system now, in a sense, links to Red Bull. I looked at some Red Bull players that we could go in for from, the RB Salzburg, RB, Red Bull, New York Red Bulls, and there's one in particular that does play on out wide, and he's called Helinho. Brazilian, plays for RB Bragantino in Brazil. I think we should go for him.
Okay.
I don't think he costs that much. I think he's about 25. Julio Helinho, he's called Helinho. I think
there you go.
So go and check him out. Plays for RB Bragantino, scoring goals, plays out on the wing. I think this man could be, and this is my pick. And thank you for asking me, Colin, because I look at the video. I did it about a month ago, but now you remind me. Yes, he would be the one, and that's what I mean. Aaron, there's players around that you wouldn't even. Isn't it really? We want to know players, and that's the sort of thing that outside of the Championship, outside of the English League or whatever, the players that are about. This lad would be very, very good, and I don't think he'd be very expensive. He certainly wouldn't cost 140 million. He'd be well in the bracket.
Hey, listen, Leeds should have gone in for Mbappe because they've got 140 million quid in the bank.
Well, this is the
there
thing.
You go.
This is the thing. There's so many players out there around that you could pick out and say, hey, they could go for that. You don't know who the scouting team are looking at. But also, I do that myself. And would you believe it, Aaron? We're talking about Rutter. But one day, I mean, this is how sad it can get, really, Aaron. I don't know if you know the app FotMob. FotMob's great. It has a load of stats on it all the way through. Now, one day, Jorginho Rutter was playing for Hoffenheim, and I was scrolling through the Bundesliga, looking at Hoffenheim, and I scrolled on and I seen Jorginho Rutter. I'd never heard of him before. And I thought to myself, you know what? We should be going for him. And then not long later, he does sign for us. So maybe there's something, maybe they were reading my mind or something like that. The Leeds United people somewhere.
There you go. Angus Kinnear could be listening right now. And
exactly. It was so like, I was just looking and I thought, wow, his stats don't look bad. We could do with a player in his position at the time. I thought, well, maybe they should be going for him, at Hoffenheim. And then obviously he signed. It was very strange because I don't have any knowledge of it. I don't have any inside track.
No, listen, anybody, unless it's from a credible source, you're looking at Graham Smith, Adam Pope, or, you're looking at these, those are you're in the nose.
Yeah, but they're not. I've seen a lot of people slate these, not really Pope, but particularly like Nancy, the new lady for the Athletic. I think it's because everybody loved Phil, didn't they? And he's gone. But
yeah, he had an exit clause.
Basically, he probably did exactly. I know everybody's starting to have them. I think you have, haven't you?
500 quid for a season ticket. That's my exit clause.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you know what I mean. I just think I don't think they're that in the know. I think they're just reporting basically things that is so. This is why the 49ers as well annoy me, because why not make it common knowledge? I know you want to get your deals done sort of behind closed doors so nobody hijacks them, because we've seen it happening before, don't we? But it's going to get out some way or the other. Somebody's going to know about it some way or the other. So why don't you let them...
It broke, didn't it, George? It was very simple with the £40 million exit clause. came out, and I think when you go back and listen to Fat, I don't know if you've listened to Fat this afternoon, he was very, very keen to say, I am not telling you, there are exit clauses still there.
In other players.
Of
course.
He says, well, we don't know if they're going to expire, this, that, and the other. It stinks. It really does.
It completely stinks, because he said, I've seen on a report, I don't know who it was from, somewhere on social media, that that it expired tomorrow, this exit clause.
Yeah, it did. Yesterday it was, yeah.
So it expired today. So, it's just like the waiting and waiting and waiting. Brighton are like, they're stupid there at Leeds, because they're rejecting this £30 million bid. We're just going to wait till the very last minute and just offer 40, because they have to accept it then. Lull them into a false sense of security, and the fans as well, thinking, because I'm sure, Aaron, you'd have been like me, you probably thought he was going to stay. And then bang, he's gone. And a day before his thingy ran out. It always seems to be the case. They're not silly, these people.
No.
They know exactly what they're doing. And Brighton, it doesn't matter. Like I said, with Cree, it doesn't matter. He went to West Ham. It doesn't matter who he goes to. Brighton is a good move for him, for what I think, for what it's worth. I think it's a decent move. But I do think they're going to go. I think they'll be towards the bottom end of the table, personally. But
I think Brighton will be fine. I think they're an established Premier League side.
But they've got a really, really young man.
Yeah, they've got a good club down there, George. It's a well-run club. Is Brighton and Hove Albion? They don't mess around. They invest in the right players. The chairman and the board there. They've got it to the T. They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
they're a well-oiled machine. They're an established Premier League side.
It is. Yeah, it is.
You can't fault them.
They're
in to Europe, man. They got to Europe.
I know. It's the seventh. I think it's the seventh straight Premier League season this time. So
and they're not going to struggle whatsoever.
No, it's an impressive. I think they will be, for what it's worth, but it's an impressive model, definitely. But that's it.
We've ranted there, George, for a good 50-odd minutes about selling Jorginho Rutter to Brighton. Give us some positivity then, George, because we haven't got any at the moment. I feel very deflated. We've got a tough game Saturday lunchtime against West Bromwich Albion. We need players in through the door. Give me some positivity going into the weekend, George, because Leeds fans are in disarray. It's simple as that. The pitchforks and the torches are out ready for Parag and Daniel Fark. Your beard's going to be set alight. It's crazy.
So he's going to be outside the window, setting it all alight.
We had riots a few weeks ago. They're going to be rioting again.
Exactly.
What I mean? It's just going to be. Give us some positivity. Come on now. What positive things can you see in the next few days?
Well, I've given you just a bit further up the line now, and we're going to get a man in. Maybe it might be tomorrow, or like I said, early hours of this morning, or later on this evening. Bang! He's in talks. They're signing him. Friday he signs. Tomorrow he might sign. Right? He can't play Saturday, but he comes back in Monday. Bang! We win. We win comfortably, maybe on Saturday Saturday lunchtime against West Brom. Suddenly we've got him in. Bang! There's another man in on Monday, or they're in talks with him. They're trying to finalise it, and everybody's getting excited. Oh hell! We just won on Saturday. Now we've got these two men. Who are these boys that have just gone? Chris Somerville and Rutter, forgotten by, I don't know, Julinho from RB Bragantino and whoever else. You know what I mean? So
just give me one player. So to make this go away, George, give me one player. Who you think Leeds should go and sign.
Julinho from RB Bragantino.
Julinho is the man. Okay, the one that I think is quite simple. Very, very simple. Leeds United, Angus Kinnear, get on the blower to Blackburn Rovers and sign Sammy Smodics. Go and sign him. Give them what they want. Go and do it right now. Because I think if you sign him, that will start getting fans back on side. I think if we sign him, that'll be a good step forward. Then go and sign Rowe from Norwich. Go and make it happen. And he can't wait for the check to clear. He can't wait for the back transfer to clear or whatever. Get on the blower to HSBC, Angus, and get it fast tracked.
Yes, he can't. He can't use Clara, can he, or anything like that, or whatever. No paying 30 days, or paying 3 or whatever. He's got to do it now. But Julio, no, I bet it costs no more than £5 or £6 million.
Well, George, it won't happen, but I hope it does, just for you.
Get them on the phone and start speaking the Portuguese and whatnot. Just do it. Just do it. They're never going to sign Sammy Szmodics. They're never going to get him.
Why not?
Because he's too much money, isn't it?
This is the thing, John. They have to pay the people the tax. The championship tax or whatever you want to call it has to come into play now, because Leeds are not going to get Sammy Szmodics for less than 20 million quid.
I know, but I kind of like what Gavin said. I think Sammy Szmodics, Bennett Benson, and Rowe would soften the blow. I think of losing those guys, and would get fans back excited. I think people were excited when Johnny Rowe started coming into the conversation.
And that's the key thing. What he said.
So I think that would be good. Then you get a left back, a centre mid, and maybe another centre mid, or maybe another striker, and then you start bang, we're off then, and we win on Saturday, and then everybody starts to feel a bit more positive. I think this would have probably happened even if we'd won both games. If we'd have got 3 points on Saturday and won and gone through in the cup, the news of Rutter would still have people seething and frustrated because, but it's been untold. I've seen all of it. Fart this, fart that. Parag Marath is this, that, and the other, and you just think, goodness me, just give him a break,
It could be easily solved, this charge. They've got 140 million quid in the bank. They need to get that. In fact, don't even get the checkbook out. Get on HSBC, get your account number in and just transfer it directly.
Transfer it to Blackburn Rovers or whatever. Yes, straight to them.
Yes, we'll do it right now. Here's the deal.
But that's it. That's what you do, isn't it? Just do it. Get a man who will score goals.
Get a Monzo. You can even get a QR code now. Easily.
Isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Get him down, straight down the motorway in whatever.
No, forget the check. Zoom call, QR code. Scan it like that. Bang.
Bang. Get him back down the motorway in a black Bentley and rolled up to Ellen Road.
That would be good. George, go on, give us a prediction. Well, dare I say, give us a prediction for the doom and gloom on Saturday. West Bromwich champion away, first away game of the season. They're going to be in the new, as you said, the new yellow Leeds kit. Give us a score prediction. Yes, Colin, spend like Wolf of Wall Street. Throw the money around. Come on, George, give us a prediction. Don't forget as well. Sorry, George, get in the comments. I'm getting giddy now. Get in the comments. Get us your score predictions in for Saturday. George, give us your score prediction, please.
I'm going to go with 3-0 Leeds.
God, give us whatever you've been smoking, please.
It's got to be 3-0 Leeds, Aaron. It's got to be. Right. I don't see where. I think they're going to be they're going to be on a high. But let's not forget they lost in the cup as well on Tuesday night. There'll be questions asked of them to lower league Fleetwood. I think Fleetwood are League One, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's not all rosy now, though they did win the first league game handsomely, obviously, and Madja will be in good spirits. I'm sure they will be. They'll fancy it on Saturday, but I just think Leeds they've got that team. It's only early season. We've still got good players in that team, regardless of if Willie wants to go before the end of the window. He'll be playing on Saturday regardless. you know, we can still get a result with those 11 on the pitch. I think we can still get a result. We're better than them. We're better than West Brom.
Okay.
We're better than West Brom.
Brill. Colin says 2-1 Leeds and Gavin says 0-0. For me, George, I'm going to go completely polar opposite. I think it's going to be an absolute hammering for Leeds United. I can't see anything but a 4-0 defeat.
Bloody hell.
I know. Doom, gloom, and fire.
Well, it definitely will be sacked then, won't it, if they do
I
that?
think Leeds will lose 4-0. And the reason why is because I don't see who's going to score goals. I think defensively we're all over the place. And I think tactically we've got no identity. We used to have an identity. It's gone. Daniel Farke needs to urgently sort this out. And I think the only way he can sort this out is by bringing in quality players. And I don't think we're going to get anybody in before the weekend. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a 4-0 defeat.
No, I think that.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
It could be, but like you said, if that happens, he does go. He definitely does. So that you know, sometimes it has to get worse before it gets better.
Sorry, Colin. I have to be honest. It's my honesty. You know me. I'm an honest guy. I say it how it is, and I think Leeds need to sort themselves out, and they need to do it quickly. Right, Georgie, we've had a fantastic moan and groan about Leeds United. I am sure we will do it at the same time next week, won't we, sir? And hopefully we'll be able to moan or drool over a new couple of players. But please give us a like, ring the bell, all that sort of stuff. Give us a subscribe. Give us a share. Share this if you like it. Give it a share. Alfie and Jerry have just done their first match reaction as well, George, from the disappointing result over the last night. So that'll be going out onto your providers. This is all going out onto your podcast providers as well. And Alfie and Joe will be back doing another match reaction at the weekend discussing West Brom. That'll be a laugh. And we'll be back next week, won't we, George?
Yes, next Thursday, Aaron will, like you said, hopefully we'll be discussing a couple of new signs, a win at West Brom, and everything rosy again.
Preparing for Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday, yeah, that's a good game early season again. And we played them at Ellen Road last time early season. Now it's at Hillsborough, so let's wait and see. I agree with you. I think they'll do quite well this time.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for listening. Do give us a like, do ring the bell, do give us a subscribe, and get it in your diaries. 7 p.m. Talking Leeds. We will be back next week. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.